Yeah, just give me 1 second here. Okay, let me put on a song for this. What's a good song to listen to? Let's see. Okay, that's good. Alright, let's take a look at this, this tweet here, alright? Okay. It's simple. All competitors got into a players' meeting, including myself. We asked, and they told us there. You can ask any AWC or MDI competitor, including myself, to confirm this. Heck, I'm sure even D-Machine will too. There's absolutely zero reason for me to bring this up if it wasn't true. Blizzard doesn't mention it in the blog post to save face. It appears my skepticism was misplaced.
Here we are, no one else. We walk to school by ourselves. There's dirt on our uniforms from chasing all the ants and worms. We clean up and now it's time to learn. We clean up and now it's time to learn. Numbers let us learn to spell.
Well, I don't consider this like I don't like I don't regret being skeptical. This isn't like me losing or anything. Like I'm like this isn't me losing.
Dude,
wait, what do you mean?
That means they kept the rest of the money.
Wait, what do you mean?
Dude, it was we literally crowdfunded the fucking prize pool. They kept the rest of the money, right?
Yeah. Because they kept 75%. So if you look at the post, right, it says the combined prize pool for WoW Esports at BlizzCon 2019 will be $660. Or, you know, $1,000. $660 will probably be next year. Each for our 2 esports programs, so it's $330K for each one. So what Snutz is saying is whenever I read this, I didn't know if this number was combining their minimum amount or not, because they never stated that. And I gave Blizzard the benefit of the doubt, thinking that there would be no way that they would consider this a good idea. It appears that I was wrong.
Look at his tweet 16 hours ago.
Okay. Let me scroll down. Which one?
It says true.
It says true. Blizzard are contributing $0 towards not only the AWC or the MDI as well. Prize pool is 100% from crowdfunding. After they pocketed $2 million for themselves. So disappointed. Also kind of shameless to use crowdfunding and player brands to make them money.
That's a lot of money.
1 second, actually.
Okay. Dude, this is a big deal. The Quartering's gonna make a video about this. Maybe. I don't know for sure, maybe. Oh.
Okay. I asked Snutz if he wants to come on the stream and explain it. That's why. Yeah, I just had to close it for my DMs, you know. So if he's willing to come on and talk about it, I'd love to talk to him about it, because this is, yeah. Let's zone out real quick, and we'll go ahead and reset again, and get this done. You want to try this, Advertise?
He's pissed at you today, man.
He's taking me away.
He's upset.
That's fine.
You've really pissed him off, man.
Get line of sighted. Get line of sighted. Fucking idiot. I'll die, but that's fine. Doesn't matter. I don't know how you guys didn't how'd you guys not notice I got MC'd? Like, how'd y'all not notice that? Like,
Yeah, that was pretty bad.
like,
Yeah, that's bad. They didn't even come out to help you at all. Well, Lloyd did, and now Lloyd's dying.
well, that's because it didn't come out. So, like, everybody came out. I don't know why that happened. Anyway, let me see if he responded. Yeah, sure. All right, boys, y'all ready?
Dude,
Y'all ready? Okay,
this
we're gonna
is
get him in.
the first time I've ever talked to Snutz ever.
Okay, yeah, he's a great guy. I like him a lot. Okay, and
shit.
copy by. Okay, all right. So this one right there. Okay, we'll drag him down in just a minute, guys. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and head over there, and we're gonna do it. All right. So I want to get his feedback on this. I want to get his take on it directly. We got feared an instance. Oh, really? Okay. That's fine. Don't worry about it. Let me just refresh right now. Reset. Oh, people are still inside. I reset it anyway, so it's just zone out and back in. If you die.
Snutz went undefeated.
Yeah, Snutz he's really good. Like, he's actually really, really good. I like Snutz. Like, one of my favorite Allcraft episodes, music off, he's not in here yet. I'll turn it off whenever he gets here. One of my favorite Allcraft episodes was with Snutz. Like, his views and my views in the game, like, they align pretty well. Yeah, so we're gonna do that, okay, guys? So let's go ahead and, chill out here. Alright, give me a sec. Let me go ahead and zone back in here.
He's here.
Okay.
Yo.
Hey, what's
Hello?
going on, man? Give me 1 second. Let me get my music turned down. Alright, we're good. So, it appears that my skepticism was misplaced. Unfortunately.
Yeah, it kind of was, but I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not surprised you were skeptical because it's scummy as fuck. So
I didn't expect it to be this bad.
Holy
You're right.
shit.
Yeah. So anyway, so you had a meeting and they told you about all this, is that right?
right. So we had a meeting. Got to Irvine yesterday. Had a meeting.
Oh, okay.
Talked about some BlizzCon stuff, and they were like, "All right, well, you guys are waiting for the prize pool," and everyone was excited. And they said they collected $660,000 from the crowdfunding. I'm like, okay, that's pretty big.
Yeah.
And they were like, and I asked, is that on top of the base prize pool? And they said, no, that's the prize pool. So again, is Blizzard not putting money into the crowdfunding or the prize pool? And they said no. So what happened was they had a guarantee.
So they told you, they specifically straight up told you that Blizzard is not putting money into the prize pool.
Yes, because it surpassed their minimum amount. So if the crowdfunding was to do bad, they would have paid the difference. They would have made it $250,000, which they usually do. But because they did so well, instead of putting in the money themselves, they decided just to use only crowdfunding money.
So let's rephrase this. So
Yeah.
people gave Blizzard so much money, Blizzard decided to give themselves even more.
Right. So they collected around $2.6 million, give or
Right.
take. And instead of adding prize money from themselves, they just pocketed $2 million and decided to just use the money that the community gave us and pay for their tournament.
Oh my god.
So glad I didn't buy that shit.
I bought it, man. Did you promote it, Snutz?
Yeah,
I did
of course
too.
I did.
Like
I
I remember, like, we
players
suggested,
in
like,
general.
weren't you on Allcraft? Like, I'm sure, like, we
Yeah.
probably talked about that. Like, everybody had wanted crowdfunding for the tournaments. So you're saying that the tournament right now, so if it's what, $330K, it could be over a $500,000 tournament, $600,000 almost.
It should have been
dollar
$610. Yes, $600,000. Yeah.
What the fuck,
for each,
dude?
For each.
Yeah,
Not,
for
not
each
just,
one,
yeah,
yeah.
not just.
That is a. So, all right, let me ask you a question. Let's say you win BlizzCon. Let's
Yeah.
say you win the Classic Dueling Tournament. What pays
Yeah.
more?
Classic.
Oh
Yeah.
my god, man.
I mean, it's not even just about the amount. Like, I wasn't like, I don't compete
Yeah.
in WoW for the money.
Yeah,
But it's
yeah.
just the fact that they pulled this off, you know? It's like, so, yeah. And I'm sure, like, I know they didn't put it in their blog post because for obvious reasons, but I they gave me permission to tweet what I want. I'm allowed to take my stance on things, and yeah, that's how I feel about it. Hopefully they come out with a confirmation and stuff, but it's a little ridiculous.
How do you feel like they should deal with it, like, going forward now?
I mean, I just don't know if people even want to care to fund crowdfunding WoW esports if there's no clarity on it and how they plan on doing it. Because the wording in the blog post was just pretty much like, I don't know. They knew they were going to do this the whole time, but they just didn't want to do it or let us know.
Yeah,
So-
that sounds ridiculous. I mean, I can't see how it's fair to the people, because it seemed to me like, based off of the original article that I was looking at, and they even show it on there. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick, and I'll show it to everybody so they can see it. This wasn't stated anywhere. And
Yeah.
I feel like it's almost like, whenever people try to raise money for something and then it turns out to be like not really what people thought that they were raising the money for, and then everybody gets really disappointed and like upset about it.
Right.
And I think this is kind of the same thing. And like, so I'll read out: support WoW esports with your toy purchase. For a limited time,
Right.
every purchase of the Transmorpher Beacon, 25% of the proceeds will contribute. Now, I know this is like really granular and it's not the only definition of contribute, but contribute is a word that implies a shared responsibility. And I would feel that if I was using the word contribute, that I was working with Blizzard to contribute to this, not necessarily funding it directly. Now, this is, again, it's like this is like a connotation of a word. This is, again, very specific. But if you look at this word, it's an example of language that leads people to deceive themselves, which is legally they can do this.
Yeah, they can.
But-
They won't get in trouble.
Oh,
legally.
no, not legally. Yeah, legally it's completely
Because
fine.
I mean, they knew exactly what they were doing, and when you read this though, it seems like they're gonna put in $250,000 of their own money on top of what they make. But
Exactly.
if you look at it now and what they're doing now, you know exactly what they're doing the whole time. So
And how is it? So it's a guaranteed minimum.
right.
I mean,
so
I
the
would
guarantee
feel, yeah,
minimum-
guaranteed. I feel like if you put the word guaranteed, that you would expect it to be guaranteed. I don't know. That's and again, like this legal, from like a legal perspective, if you want to read it for what do these words mean in this order, Blizzard did nothing wrong. But
Yep. Yeah.
what do people see and what do they understand whenever they read this is something different. And that is the worst kind of thing, because it even seems to me, right? It seems like they preemptively did this, and the language here is used in a way to make people feel like it's a concerted effort. But the actual language, if you want to look at it from like a legal perspective, doesn't necessarily imply that. And the fact that that was probably taken into consideration is really, really sketchy.
Yeah, I mean that's what I was saying. I'm sure when they first released this, they knew exactly what they were doing.
Yeah.
They just put it in a way to make it seem like, well, I mean, they promote player brands, say, support the players, support myself, buy this toy and you will support WoW esports, not only AWC but MDI as well. and then they go ahead and do this kind of shit where they don't even support themselves with their own money. They pocket $2 million and can't put up 500K, which they do yearly.
Yeah.
To try to boost both programs. It's just ridiculous. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Like somebody in my chat said they should have said fund and not contribute. Like there are so many other words. Pay for. I mean, pay for is like really kind of basic, but it's not really a good word. But yeah, fund would be much better. Like, and I think that they should have been much more transparent about this. And I think that
for the toys, for the toys, it's 75% to Blizzard, 25% to the programs, right?
And I even
And at
defended that, dude. Like
Yeah, at
I
first was like,
defended
this
that.
is pretty fair. I mean,
That's
it's pretty
industry
fair.
standard. Dota does the same fucking thing.
Yeah, but Dota also has a prize pool for themselves that they
1.5 mil, I believe.
Yeah, so and it's not like they take that away if it does really well, which it does. They don't take away their own prize pool. They just add on top of
So-
what they make from the crowdfunding.
So this would be funny. Let's do the math about like if you remove the 500,000. So they raised 660,000. So it's $160,000 basically that we added to the prize pool. So actually the cut that Blizzard is effectively making out of this, if you discount the amount of money that they're not paying because they already hit the minimum, is actually only $160,000. So they made $2.6 million and they only have to pay back $160,000
Yep. Yeah.
because they're saving the 500.
Because they're not spending the money themselves. Exactly. So they just make made X amount off of the community and off the players.
I think the worst part about it is the fact that players expected this to be something different. Like if this came out and like everybody knew about it, I feel like even then I would have been like, you know what, this kind of sucks, but at least Blizzard is trying. I'm gonna buy one anyway. You know, and like
Right,
I
yeah.
probably would have like maybe even still supported it, even though it was kind of scummy and like the percentage was super low. But now, I mean, to deceive people about this, I feel like that's really the worst part.
That's the worst part. Like I said, I'm not disappointed in the number. I'm never competing in WoW for like big money. You know, we're playing WoW.
I do want to say, Snutz, I saw in a magazine that you were the highest paid World of Warcraft player one year. You remember that? Yeah, so,
Yes.
Hey, you know, might not be for the money, but it seems to work out.
Yeah.
So,
It does.
Go ahead,
definitely.
go ahead.
But yeah, like I said, it's not about the money for me. It's more so just because I love doing it.
Yeah.
Obviously Blizzard got my hopes up this year. Money's not a bad thing, and then they pull this shit. So, kind of trying to not necessarily put them on blast, but just bring it up, you know, and let people know. Because when I read the blog post, they didn't even want to bring it up themselves. So.
I feel like them omitting that and not saying that is also really kind of, it's disingenuous and it's deceptive because, like, if I read the first blog post and then it's like the conclusion that I came to, like, just naturally, is that I assumed Blizzard wouldn't do something like that because it's like, yeah, Blizzard does some scummy stuff, but this is like, you know, this is a whole nother level. And I gave them the benefit of the doubt. And it turns out that, no, this is exactly what they did. So I think that almost it kind of preys on people's better, better assumptions on their judgment. And I think that's really what sucks too.
Well, I just figured with all the bad press that we've been having lately too.
Yeah.
You know, it's just, I don't know, it's just so weird to me that they would continue to do this kind of stuff.
It's like, this is a multi-billion-dollar company, man, and they're trying to skimp out on $500K. Like,
after making so much already off of the crowdfunding.
It's like, I don't know. Like, I would rather them, I don't know about you, but I would rather them try to save money on making the tournaments and doing the tournaments. And it's like, you know what they could do, man? Is why don't they just have a few sponsors for the fucking tournaments? The sponsors will pay literally millions of dollars to have their brands there for the tournaments, and then take the money that they get from the sponsors and put it directly into the prize pool, and everybody that fucking competes is going to be nearly a millionaire.
Right.
So it's not even like Blizzard needs to put up their own money. They just need to change the paradigm of them doing the event.
I do want to mention though, like the people that do run the esports program, MDI and AWC, are like really passionate and they do care a lot.
Yeah.
So I'm sure it's not like, it's not up to them or it's their fault that the higher ups, want to keep their $500,000. There's nothing they can do about that. So
this is a decision that was made by the accounting department.
Yeah.
I mean,
this
is not their fault.
Yeah. And it just sucks that they will have to get the backlash from it, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, it's so disappointing to see this happen. Like, would you? If Blizzard wanted to make this right, and I don't know how you feel about this, but if Blizzard said, "Listen, we understand how this was deceptive, and we apologize," and they put in their $500K on top of that, I think you'd be happy about that, right? Everybody would be happy.
Yeah. I don't think it completely solves the problem, but it's definitely a step in the right direction. For sure.
Yeah, I mean, and I think that's what they should do. They should put in, that they can rectify the situation, in my opinion, by saying, okay, listen, you know what? This was unclear. People didn't understand it. And, we're just going to put in the money anyway because we feel like this is what the players deserve. And I don't know. I would be okay with that. If they did that, I would be like, okay, no harm, no foul. You did the right thing.
Right.
Please be more transparent in the future. And like now I saw people sending pictures of like them refunding the toys and all kinds of stuff. And it's just it's just so unpleasant. Like why bring this into the game?
Yeah, I mean, there's just no need for it. It just doesn't make sense. They've supported and they've funded tournaments for the past 10 years. I've been doing it, and the 1 year they can boost it up a little bit, they just decide to back out and not put their own money in.
I feel like BlizzCon's like basically Blizzard's trade show. And I said this, I was talking to like Sido about this last night, and I think like BlizzCon is the point where you need to like kind of pamper the players, right? This is like, yeah, you can make a little bit of money out of the event, but it's like last year they increased the price of the virtual ticket to $50 from $40, and like that's basically you're paying for a stream. Like there's no reason, like I feel like they're probably have the costs gone up by $10 that they need to do that? No, they haven't. The only reason they increased the cost is the perceived value add of the Classic WoW demo. Everybody still bought it because they wanted to play Classic WoW. This year around, there's no Classic WoW closed demo unless they announce Diablo 4 and they say people can play it at BlizzCon. I don't know if that's going to happen. Probably not. But anyway, they do all of this stuff, and then this year around, there's no value add, and it's still $50.
Yeah,
it seems like they're trying too hard to make money off of BlizzCon, and I get that they're a company. I get that they want to make money, but sometimes you're trying to make pennies at the expense of dollars, and I think that's kind of what they're doing.
Right, exactly. Especially since I'm pretty sure BlizzCon doesn't usually make the money, but I guess they're trying really hard to at least break even or make some dollars off of.
So another big question I have is so what do you think the prize pool for next year's AWC is going to be?
Well, I don't even know. After this, like, it depends.
Yeah,
what they,
exactly.
They,
that's what I was leading into. Like, is there even going to be one? Prize pool might be $0 because it might not happen.
Oh. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like me tweeting out this information. It's not like I'm getting in trouble for it because I asked if I'm allowed to.
Yeah. And
they said yes, but maybe it's a bad thing. Maybe it's a good thing for AWC. I just hope that they do kind of support my claim and just try to confirm it themselves, because it is a big claim and it is true. It's just the way they worded it in the blog post. They just didn't want to admit it themselves to let you guys know what kind of shit they're pulling off.
Yeah, but you've exposed it. We know now.
Well,
this is a huge expose on Blizzard.
Yeah,
right?
if it wasn't me, it would have been someone else. Like, it would have been any
somebody would have mentioned it.
Yeah.
I do respect you a lot for actually coming forward and saying this. It means a lot that I see the Bellier video, guys. I'll look at it afterwards, but I'm doing this right now. I respect that a lot, because this is something that obviously it's harmful to everybody. It's harmful to all the players, and you could say it's like, some people might criticize you for, oh, you're biting the hand that feeds you or whatever, but
right, exactly.
At the end of the day, I mean, you're helping everybody. You want everybody to be able to eat, if you want to continue that analogy. And the amount of money that Blizzard is going to put into this being $0, I feel like it's only a matter of time at this point that we don't really see an AWC anymore, or we don't see maybe an MDI anymore, because they're just not profitable. And I think that...
Well, I mean, there's even more than that. That it's just ridiculous, man. Like, we're not even... Our first set of games even on stage. They're making us play backstage, like, before BlizzCon even happens. It's just...
What?
Wait,
yeah.
What?
Oh, yeah.
We didn't know that.
Sidu said a little bit about that yesterday on his stream, but I didn't really understand that. How does that work?
Okay, so they have opening week. If there's too many games that they can't fit into BlizzCon, they have opening week where they have commentators and a broadcast going on.
Yeah.
But because they're trying to save money, they decided that the competitors are just going to play backstage with everyone else, and you could hear them play with no commentators and no stream, and they're just going to record the games. Some of the games. You can't get knocked out before playing on stage, but I could theoretically be top 3 at BlizzCon, and you guys have yet to see a single game. That's what's gonna happen too. Yeah.
What the hell's happening?
I'll tell you what, Blizzard.
My roomie is just laughing. It's a joke. It's a joke, man.
Okay. What if Blizzard? I'll give Blizzard my stream key. Just broadcast it to my stream. Like it's okay, guys. Like
McConnell would commentate.
Yeah. McConnell, Rich. Like we'll commentate. We'll take care of it.
He feared. He did a fear, dude.
Yeah, look at that. He did it again. Oh, it's another absorb. It's I don't know. I feel like so they're not even having the games. That's so bad. That's like doing a playthrough for a game, and you have like 10 episodes of the playthrough, and you just decide not to put in episode 8.
Yep.
Or you just don't stream one day of you playing the game. I feel like that's gonna bother a lot of people with the playthrough because you're just missing all of that content, and then everything else you're not following along with it anymore. And it's really disappointing.
It is. It just I don't know. I mean, I think we all saw the downfall of at least AWC for a while now, so maybe they will scrap it like they did CODs. It's just weird because knowing that if they were to bring in their own prize pool, it would just bring in more hype for the tournaments. You know what I mean? So
fuck yeah, it would. It would be awesome.
Yeah, they just, like the crowdfunding was supposed to bring in hype because you look at Dota and you're like, wow, that's a big prize pool.
That's what I was saying. Like that builds hype for the tournament in itself. People watch. Like I watched the Dota tournament because it's like watching Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. Every single dude on the stage is gonna come off like that. Yeah, same with Fortnite. Yeah, like the
we're not gonna reach those numbers, but don't skimp out on the 500K that you supposedly promised, I guess.
Well, it's like here's an example, right? Like Tips announced like the $50,000 dueling tournament. Like I announced the dueling tournament that I'm doing for $40,000. People got hyped up just by that number. They were excited for it just because of that number. Same with Tips' event because the stakes are higher. And Blizzard, again, they're pinching pennies and losing dollars. And I think that they're really making a mistake about this. Like you see like how many people like right now, WoW is doing so well. Like on Twitch, it's doing better now than it's done. I don't even know the last time that WoW did this well. Like I can pull it up here and see if I can show you guys just a second. And we'll look here. And browse, look at this. WoW it's number 5 on games. It's only behind a few other different sections, right? And like just chatting and everything like that. Fortnite, Call of Duty, and League are ahead. And League is having their big event thing going on.
Yeah.
Right? There are so many people that want to play WoW now and that are interested in it with like BFA and Classic that Blizzard is just, they're throwing it away, man.
Just save a couple dollars. Pennies to them, I guess. And it's not even just that. It's more so the fact that they've made so much already from the toys, from the community, which is a good thing. I mean, the fact that it's sold a lot and it did well is a good thing.
Yeah, for Blizzard.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's upset about Blizzard being able to make some money off of this at the same time. Like, I even defended this because I thought this was such a great idea. I was like, oh, they're only taking 25%. This is what Dota takes. This is what other crowdfunding places take. And in the back of my mind, I'm like, yeah, maybe it could be more than 25% because Blizzard is getting money from other sources that Dota isn't, such as box cost for the expansions and sub fees. So maybe Blizzard could do a little bit better than 25%. But 25, I said, you know what? That's just fine with me. And now we have this shit happen. And, geez, what a disappointment.
I do hope that they come out with a statement or something like that because it's just it's a little bit insane to me.
Yeah, but I mean, what do you expect them to say? Oh, sorry, we took $2 million. Sorry about that. Like,
pretty much.
We're sorry. Yeah,
we're sorry.
I don't know. Like, so what do you think? Yeah, what do you think would make it right if they did that?
I mean, if just to mention what they're doing or just admit to what they're doing. I wouldn't necessarily say it's a scam because if you reread the blog post, you can kind of make it out to see what they're actually trying to do. So legally, they're not gonna get in trouble for that. But in some ways, they scam the community and they scam the players. Like it is what it is.
People are going to feel scammed. That's
they
really
promoted our brands and they used us to quote unquote crowdfund their tournament, and they go off and pocket 75%, which is fine, which is fair, and remove their base prize pool. So I don't know. They just
Did they ask you guys to promote it?
No, but I mean, I thought it would be good
yeah.
for not only me, but for just the tournaments in general. Right?
I'm not competing at all, and I promoted the shit out of it. I said, yeah, this is great. Like, I mean, like people have wanted this for a long time. So yeah, I mean, this is not. I don't know, like, I don't know what the hell they're thinking, man.
Yeah,
I really don't. It seems like they're just keep making
really
mistakes.
So
I hope they do make a response to it though, because like I do think the players deserve to be paid. Like WoW, like there's a lot of organizations. Like Method is like, what other organization besides Method is even trying to get into WoW? Like does anybody even cares? Like I think Cloud9 has like one team or something, and that's it. So many of these other like larger gaming organizations like that. Like when are we gonna see 100 Thieves WoW team? I don't know. Probably never.
Probably never.
yeah. It's like, is there ever going to be like a phase Sea-Doo? Probably not. I don't think phase is going to be interested in that either.
Yeah, I think bigger orgs. I mean, if I owned a bigger org, I don't think I would get into WoW.
I wouldn't either. Like, it's a waste of time, waste of money. Like,
I mean, especially with this kind of shit, because I mean, you know, some orgs can potentially take pay you a decent amount of money and expecting a big prize pool from Blizzard. And then, something like this happens, and they just get screwed over.
Have they done lands so far on this event? In the AWC?
Yeah. So I competed I won the spring and the summer, and that was a set of 100K each. But there was no crowdfunding for that. So when they made the blog post, they said, okay, this is for the final tournament of the year. $500,000 minimum plus 25% of what we make from these toys. And they released it the week of BlizzCon, the prize pool number, which everyone was excited for obvious reasons. Yeah. And then, when I just got to Irvine yesterday, went to the campus, had the meeting, and they told us this stuff. I reconfirmed and I asked, like, wait, so you guys are adding $0 into the prize pool? And they said yes. And that's when I made my tweet.
Yeah, I mean, that's really kind of it's really kind of disappointing to see that happen. And I guess that to me, it seems like they're spending all this money on the production of the event without necessarily thinking about the players. It's like, I don't know about you, like as a player, would you have rather that they just don't do lands and they take the money and put it towards prize pool? Because to me, I feel like that probably would be better. And in terms of like generating hype and everything, I think the larger prize pools generate hype in the same way that lands do. So it's like apples to apples. Sure.
Right. I don't know what I prefer. I do enjoy playing on the lands and stuff, but this is the first year I've ever was like really excited for a bigger prize pool, and it is bigger. It's still $50,000 bigger. Oh yeah. But when you think about it, it took them a year to increase the prize pool by $50,000, but they pocketed over $2 million.
How much was the overall prize pool for WoW this year?
It would have been 500,000. It was 280 last year. So
and
it went
how
up
much
50,000.
last year? How much was the Heroes of the Storm prize pool? Do you remember?
I think it was like $1 million.
Yeah, it's $1 million.
Yeah. So
you know,
well, I mean, WoW's had the lowest prize pool for the past however long now, and I think WoW's made them the most money, right? For however long.
It's also like
maybe not Hearthstone, but
it's a brand investment. Like WoW is always going to be like Overwatch now. I think is probably the most well-known, Blizzard thing for like just average people. But you think about like WoW, like for any older generation of like Blizzard player, like WoW and like Warcraft is like what defines Blizzard. And you take that and you make it into this other like bullshit. And I think they have to invest their money into WoW to an extent, right? Even if they're not making a ton of money, just because it's one of their flagship games that's defined their entire company. It's like, how can you just let that languish?
I've been doing it for a long time. Yeah, I've been doing it for a long time, but to be honest, I don't even care if they wanted to scrap WoW Arena, but it's just because they keep like stringing me along and saying this is going to be happening this year or this is going to happen.
Yeah.
And there's been good years but there's been plenty of bad years. So it's just this was supposed to be the good year, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I've heard some rumblings of them considering to get rid of the AWC, you know, and just like moving away from that. And I never really expected that to actually happen, you know what I mean? And now after they removed the prize pool, I feel much more confident in that potentially happening. And that's really disappointing to see.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I can see it happening too. But yeah, I'll let you go on with your stream and let you talk about it. I'm curious to see if Blizzard wants to bring it up themselves, but yeah, just to clarify.
I sure hope they do. I mean, the only concern I have is like not enough people even care to make a stink of it. So we'll see what they do.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. Well, anyway, man, I really appreciate you coming on and talking to me about this because this is
no worries, man.
Some real shit,
I'm glad I was able to, because obviously there was no proof, quote unquote, to my claim.
Yeah. That's the first thing I thought.
Yeah,
because
I would never bring this up. I'm not here to blast Blizzard for a reason. It's not something I do. So, like I said, when I first found out about it yesterday, I had to bring it up because no one else was doing it at the time, but it would have been brought up anyways.
I guess so. I'm glad that you did. Anyway, man, I really appreciate you coming on. Thanks a lot. And
right,
guys,
see you, man.
Yeah, I'll see you later.
Snutz, you're a legend. You're a legend, dude. Let's PvP sometime, all right?
Love you, buddy. Love you, McConnell. Are you guys going to BlizzCon?
Probably not.
Yeah, man.
Shut the fuck
Wait,
up.
McConnell, you're coming?
Not going.
Oh, fuck.
No.
Baited. All right, I'll see you guys later.
Yeah, see you later.
Bye.
See you guys.
All right, that's his channel, by the way. If anybody wants to give him a follow, he's a great warlock. He was the only person in the classic WoW dueling tournament to go 14-0. He was completely undefeated. So yeah, that's his channel right there. Make sure you give him a follow. And obviously, like I think that's really impressive. I mean, like the fact that he was able to go on and actually talk about this, and you know, I don't really like saying expose, right? I'm not really a big fan of saying the word expose, but you know, bring this up. We need another mage, by the way, for this this run, because I'm gonna look at that. Listen, I know people said Bellior came out with a video about the new expansion league being being for sure. I will look at that in a couple.
Did you see it?
No, I didn't see it, man. I didn't see
Dude,
it.
WoW
I know.
Shadowlands story. We will use the re-origination on N'Zoth, but it will not kill him, okay? The plan is to use the Blade of the Black Empire to seal him away, but Sylvanas interrupts. She kills N'Zoth, okay, with the same attack that she used on Sourfang, and then claims his soul for her master. This is mind-blowing shit, dude.
Okay, alright. We'll look at it in a minute, man.